Hello Internet, just wanted to shoot a quick video on my tabletop punch-out arcade cabinet that I scratch built 2 years ago. It is based off the NES port of Punch-Out, not Mike Tyson's Punch-Out though. That cart is a little expensive, so it's based off of this one right here. The cabinet measures about 18 3/4 inches wide by 23 inches deep and about 26 3/4 inch tall. It uses a real CRT. It's a light up marquee, and the artwork is from the Nintendo Punch-Out arcade cabinet. It's got a 4-way Nintendo style joystick and then just regular arcade push buttons. Swing around to the back. Got a vent for airflow, and it stands on rubber feet on the bottom, and there's also a vent the same size on the bottom, so plenty of airflow. Got the main power switch and where the cord plugs in. Got a reset button and a volume switch here. So swing back around to the front and I'll flip it on and show you how it works. Flick the switch. Everything comes on one shot. And while the music is running, I'll show you the volume control. And also the reset button. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing down. And next thing I'll do is open up the back and show you how that works. All right, so here we are at the back door. It's held on by 4 Phillips screws, which I already took out, but left this one on so I can pull it off for you. Turn on my headlamp. And here is the CRT. It is mounted to a real arcade monitor mount and grounded properly. This bottom portion here also is held in with 2 screws, but I will unscrew that and show you how that works. All right, so now we have these 2 screws undone. And the way I built this is this bottom piece is actually a shelf that slides out. There's 5 connections that need to be undone before you can remove it from the machine. The coax for the TV itself, the marquee light, the control panel, and the speakers, which I will undo now, and we'll look at the shelf. All right, now that all the connections are undone, this whole piece can just slide right out of the machine. All right, I'll set this up on the table and we can take a look at it. All right, here is the brains of the unit. Got the speaker connection right here. Standard surge protector that everything plugs into. Got a sound amp, which also has a potentiometer on it, so you can kind of even out the sound. The coax for the TV goes into one of these coax to RCA adapters. This is the NES clone that I got on Amazon, and the punch-out board is mounted like this so the shelf can slide in and out without getting caught. And everything goes into this, which is just a regular computer plug here, and it's got a fuse on it as well. Next, I'll put this thing back up on the table and show you how the control panel comes apart. All right, we got the cabinet back up on the table here. So the control panel is held on with 4 Phillips screws, which I have already removed. So once those are removed, this control panel can be removed. And it's gonna be hard to do with one hand, so let me get it apart and I'll show you the bottom. And just showing off real quick the cabinet without any of the electronics in it. Here's the vent in the bottom and got 2 4-inch speakers. All right, and here's the control panel removed from the cabinet. Comes off and is just a standard NES cord. I'll flip it around. And all it is the controller that came with the NES clone, plugged into some arcade switches and the joystick. All right, I'm gonna put everything back together and I'll show you how it plays. All right, so we got the cabinet all back together. Looking at the control panel, we have up, down, left, right, left blow, right blow, and the knockout blow is going to be the start button. Now, if you're familiar with Punch-Out, you know that in between rounds, you can raise your stamina by hitting the select button, but the control panel does not have one. So what I did was wire the select button to the left blow here. So if we look at Doc while we're hitting the button, he will raise your stamina in between rounds. Now I'll try to do this one-handed, but it's not going to be that easy, but just to try to demonstrate all the controls working. See if I can get a star to show the knockout blow. All right, and that's about it.